Life's a journey, and it's full of twists and turns. You're going to face obstacles, challenges, and moments of doubt. But here's the truth: you cannot force things to happen. The most powerful moves you can make are the ones that happen when you're aligned with your purpose, not when you're forcing it. Stop trying to control everything. Life's bigger than you. There's a flow, a rhythm to it. When you force things, you break that flow, you disrupt the natural order of things, and in doing so, you make it harder for yourself. You need to have patience. The world doesn't move at your pace, but at the right pace. Sometimes all you need to do is be still and trust the process. Let things unfold the way they are supposed to. The universe, life, or whatever you believe in works in ways you don't always understand, but it's working in your favor. In this world, patience is often seen as a weakness. People think if you're patient, you're passive, you're waiting for things to come to you without putting in the work. But let me tell you something: patience is power. It's not about sitting back and letting life pass you by. It's about knowing when to move, when to act, and when to wait. It's about having the self-control to resist the urge to rush the process, and instead, allowing things to unfold in their own time. Look, life doesn't owe you anything. You can't force success, you can't force relationships, and you sure as hell can't force happiness. It doesn't work that way. You have to understand that the right things will come to you when they're supposed to. If you push too hard, you're only going to make it harder on yourself. You'll burn out. You'll miss out on what's really meant for you. Patience means trusting that everything is happening for a reason, even if you can't see it right now. It's the calm in the storm. It's knowing that the road may be rough, but if you stay on it long enough, it'll lead you to where you're supposed to be. In the moments when things don't seem to be working out, that's when you need patience the most. It's when you feel like giving up. That's when you must dig deeper and wait. You've put in the work. Now let the world respond in its own time. And trust me, that's where the real power lies. Think about the greatest accomplishments of your life, the moments that changed you. Were they rushed? Did you force them to happen? No, they came in their own time, and when they did, they were more than worth the wait. Patience is the quiet confidence that, no matter how long it takes, what's meant for you will never pass you by. So be patient. The world moves fast, but you don't have to move with it. Let life come to you. When it does, you'll be ready. Listen closely. You can't control everything. Life has a way of teaching you that, whether you like it or not. You can work hard, plan every step, make every move with precision, but at the end of the day, there's only so much you can do. The rest is all about trusting the process. This is where people mess up. They want results, and they want them now. They push and push, trying to force things to happen before the time is right. And when it doesn't work out, they get frustrated, they doubt themselves, they start questioning everything. But what if I told you that the real power comes not from forcing, but from letting go and trusting that things will work out the way they're supposed to? You've done your part. You've put in the hours, made the effort, faced the battles. Now it's time to let the universe, God, or whatever you believe in, take over. You need to trust that there's a bigger picture at play, even when you can't see it. Life doesn't always follow the timeline you have in your head. The opportunities you're waiting for, the success you're working toward, it's coming, but it's coming when it's ready. And in the meantime, the best thing you can do is trust the process. Think about every success story, every person you admire. They didn't get to the top by fighting against the flow of life. They got there by understanding that there's a rhythm to everything. And they stayed in the game, kept moving forward, trusting that even when things seemed uncertain, the right things would fall into place. You can't control when, where, or how success will show up, but you can control how you react to the journey. Sometimes the hardest part of the process is simply letting go of the need to know what's coming next. But real strength comes from trusting that what's meant for you is already on its way. It's already working behind the scenes, even when you don't see it. And when it arrives, you'll be more than ready. You don't have to rush it. You don't have to force it. Trust that every setback is a setup for something greater. Trust that every struggle is shaping you into the person you need to become to handle what's coming. Trust the process, not just the end result, but everything in between, because that's where the real growth happens. And when it all comes together, you'll understand that it was all part of the plan. Trust the process, even when you can't see the next step. The road is long, but the journey is the reward. Here's a harsh truth you can't lie to yourself and expect to get anywhere. We all do it. We tell ourselves things to make us feel better, to excuse our mistakes, to avoid the hard truths about who we really are and where we stand. But here's the thing, the longer you keep lying to yourself, the longer it's going to take for you to get where you truly need to be. Being real with yourself means facing the hard truths head on. It means looking in the mirror and acknowledging where you've messed up, where you've fallen short, and where you still need to grow. It's not about beating yourself up. It's about understanding that growth starts with self-awareness. If you can't be honest with yourself, how can you expect to grow into the person you want to be? You have to know who you are, flaws and all. If you're not where you want to be in life, it's time to ask yourself why. Are you putting in the effort? Are you holding yourself accountable? Are you doing the work or just waiting for it to happen? It's easy to point fingers at other people, to blame circumstances, to blame bad luck. But real strength comes when you stop doing that. It comes when you take responsibility for your actions, for your decisions, and for your life. Being real with yourself also means acknowledging your potential. It's about seeing the greatness inside of you, even if it's buried under self-doubt, fear, or insecurity. Don't hide from your true capabilities. Own them. If you want success, you've got to stop pretending that you're not capable of achieving it. If you want greatness, you've got to stop lying to yourself and start believing in the power you hold. It's easy to wear a mask, to pretend to be something you're not, especially when the world is watching. But that mask doesn't fool anyone, not even you. It takes courage to take it off and stand in your truth. And that's where the power is. When you stop pretending, you open the door to real growth. When you stop lying to yourself, you free yourself from the limits you've placed on your own potential. Be real with yourself, because the truth is the only thing that will set you free. The sooner you face who you are and where you are, the sooner you'll begin to move forward. You'll stop wasting time pretending, stop wasting energy on things that don't matter, and start focusing on what you can control: your own actions, your own choices, and your own growth. You can't be anyone else, so stop pretending to be. Be real with yourself, and that's when you'll see change. It all starts with you. Life has a funny way of showing you that not everything goes as planned. We all have expectations, don't we? We expect certain things to happen at certain times in certain ways. We expect people to behave a certain way, relationships to unfold the way we think they should, success to come when we've worked for it. And when those expectations aren't met, that's when the frustration sets in, the disappointment, the anger. But here's the hard truth: expectations are chains. They tie you to outcomes, to things outside of your control. And when life doesn't meet those expectations, they hold you down. You start blaming, you start questioning, and you forget that life doesn't owe you anything. It's not here to fulfill your idea of how things should be. It's here to teach you, to challenge you, and to push you toward growth. Letting go of expectations doesn't mean giving up. It doesn't mean lowering your standards or settling for less. It means freeing yourself from the need to control everything. It means accepting that life will unfold in its own way, and the path you're on may not look anything like what you imagined, but that doesn't make it any less valuable. In fact, it might make it more valuable than you could have ever expected. You need to let go of the idea that everything will happen according to your timeline, according to your perfect vision. Sometimes the best things come when you least expect them. Sometimes the hardest challenges are the ones that teach you the most. When you let go of your rigid expectations, you allow life to surprise you, to give you more than you ever thought possible. Think about the most significant moments in your life, the moments that changed you, the moments that tested you. They probably didn't happen when you thought they would, did they? They didn't unfold according to the plan you had in your head. But in hindsight, you can see that those moments, those unexpected turns, were the ones that shaped you the most. The things you never saw coming were often the things you needed most. Letting go of expectations also means letting go of the people in your life who don't meet your standards. If you're constantly waiting for others to change, for them to be something they're not, you're holding yourself back. You have to accept people for who they are, not who you want them to be. You can't change them. The only person you can change is yourself. And when you stop waiting for others to meet your expectations, you free yourself to move forward, to surround yourself with people who align with your values and who genuinely lift you up. Life doesn't owe you anything. But when you let go of your expectations and stop forcing things to happen, you give yourself the space to see the opportunities, the lessons, and the people who are meant to be a part of your journey. Stop trying to control every outcome. Stop waiting for things to unfold according to your plan. When you let go of expectations, you allow yourself to receive what's truly meant for you. You stop holding on to what isn't working and start opening yourself up to what is. Let go of the idea that things will always go your way. Embrace the journey, no matter how unexpected it may be. Because sometimes the best things happen when you stop trying to make them happen. Listen up, because this one is important. You don't have to chase after everything. The right things, the things that are meant for you, will come to you. They'll show up when the time is right and when you're ready to receive them. Too many people are out here running around, trying to force things into their lives, trying to make things happen on their own terms. But here's the truth: they're wasting time, energy, and their peace. You cannot force what's meant for you. What's for you will find you. You can't rush it, you can't chase it down, and you certainly can't fake it. If you've been putting in the work, staying true to yourself, and being real with the world, what you need will come. It may not look exactly how you expect it, but it will be exactly what you need. See, we spend so much time worrying about what's not here yet. We obsess over the things we don't have, the opportunities we think we're missing, and the dreams that seem just out of reach. But that mindset only keeps you stuck. It keeps you looking outward instead of inward, chasing things that don't belong to you, instead of focusing on what you can control right here, right now. And while you're out there running around trying to force the future, you miss the present moment. And let me tell you, that's where your power is. The right things come when you stop forcing. When you stop looking for validation from people who don't see your worth. When you stop chasing after what you think will bring you happiness, and instead start creating your own happiness. When you stop checking off every box to live up to some standard that was never meant for you in the first place. That's when the right things start falling into place. If you've been working hard, showing up, being consistent, and doing the right things, then trust this: what's meant for you is already on its way. You may not see it yet, but it's coming. The opportunities you've been waiting for, the relationships that will support you, the success that matches your efforts, it's all coming. But it comes when you let go of the need to control every aspect of your life. It comes when you stop measuring your worth by external standards and start measuring it by the work you're putting in and the peace you're creating within yourself. Sometimes the hardest part is waiting and trusting that things will align in their own time. But that's where the growth happens. That's where your patience pays off. You stop getting caught up in the when and how, and you focus on being the best version of yourself right now. You stop thinking that your happiness is somewhere in the future, and you start realizing it's here in this very moment as you take each step forward. So let go of the anxiety, the stress, the pressure to make it happen when you're aligned with who you really are. When you stop forcing things and start trusting that what's for you is already on its way, you'll realize that the best things in life are the ones that come without struggle. You'll see that what's meant for you has always been there. It just had to show up on its own time. Keep doing the work. Keep being authentic. Keep staying focused on your journey. The right things will come. You don't have to force it. You just have to trust the process. And when they do come, you'll be ready, because you've been preparing for this moment all along. In this world, everybody wants things fast. We live in a time where everything is about instant gratification, quick fixes, shortcuts, fast food, and overnight success. But here's the cold, hard truth: rushing doesn't lead to lasting results. It leads to burnout, to mistakes, and to missing out on what matters most. The real power? It's in resisting that urge to rush. We're all in a hurry. We want the promotion. We want the relationship. We want the success. And we want it now. But rushing through the process, trying to force things to happen before their time, is like trying to build a house on a shaky foundation. It may look good at first, but it won't stand. The right things, the meaningful things, take time. Growth takes time. Real success takes time. Relationships take time. You've got to understand something: there is a rhythm to life, and it doesn't move at the pace you expect. We're taught to go, 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 but the truth is, there's strength in stillness, there's power in patience. The best things in life don't happen because you rush toward them. They happen because you've been doing the work, you've been patient, and when the time is right, they naturally fall into place. Think about the greatest achievements you've had in your life, the moments that made you feel truly proud. Did they happen overnight? Were they the result of you pushing and forcing the situation? Or did they come when you kept showing up, kept putting in the work, and let things unfold naturally? The truth is, you've been in a rush for too long, and all it's done is cause stress, anxiety, and frustration. When you let go of that pressure to rush, you create space for things to happen as they're meant to. Resisting the urge to rush also means resisting the pressure of comparing yourself to others. You see people winning, climbing the ladder, achieving their goals, and you feel like you should be there too. You start asking, why not me? What am I doing wrong? But that's the wrong question. Stop comparing your journey to theirs. Everyone has their own path. Your timing is different from theirs. Their success is theirs, and yours is still waiting for you in your own time. It's easy to get caught up in the race, but that race isn't real. It's an illusion. The only real competition is the person you were yesterday. The only thing you need to worry about is staying focused, staying disciplined, and staying true to your own pace. Don't let the world's clock dictate your life. Let your life unfold at the pace that's right for you. And don't forget, some things need time to grow. You can't rush a seed into a full-grown tree. You can't rush the work that goes into mastering your craft, building meaningful relationships, or creating something that's going to last. Every step, every moment, every lesson, those are the things that shape you into the person who's ready for what's coming next. If you rush, you miss those lessons. And without them, you'll never be ready for what you think you want. So slow down. Breathe. Don't rush the journey. You're not in a race against anyone but yourself. Trust that the things you're working for are on their way, and they'll come at the perfect time. When you stop rushing, you make room for the things that matter most. And when they arrive, you'll be ready to appreciate them in ways you never could have before. Listen up, worrying about things you can't control is one of the biggest wastes of energy you'll ever experience. We all do it. We all get caught up in the what ifs, the things that might happen, the things that are out of our hands. But here's the truth. The more you focus on things that are beyond your control, the more you rob yourself of the peace and power you need to focus on what actually matters. We're living in a world where it's easy to get consumed by things that are not in your control. What other people think, what happens in the future, how others behave, what you think you need to do to get ahead. It's all noise. It's all distractions. And guess what? None of it moves you closer to the person you need to be. Worrying about things outside of your control only keeps you stuck in a loop of anxiety, frustration, and fear. The truth is, you can't control other people. You can't control what's happening in the world right now. You can't control the future, no matter how much you want to. But you know what you can control? Yourself, your actions, your thoughts, your mindset. The way you respond to the things that happen around you. The power lies in your response. It's in how you show up every single day, in how you choose to handle the obstacles and challenges that life throws your way. The world is going to keep changing. People are going to keep doing their thing. But your response to it all? That's on you. You get to decide if you're going to let external circumstances control your peace, or if you're going to take charge of your own state of mind. Stop wasting time worrying about things that you can't change. It's not going to help you. It's not going to move you forward. It's only going to drain you, and it's going to prevent you from seeing the opportunities that are within your control. If you spend all your energy trying to change things that you have no power over, you'll miss out on the power you have to make real change in your own life. It's not easy to let go of control. We're all conditioned to think we need to have a hand in everything, that we need to be in charge of every outcome. But when you realize that you don't have to control everything to make progress, you free yourself. You free yourself from the constant stress of trying to be perfect, of trying to be prepared for every possible situation. You free yourself to focus on what you can control. And that's where the growth begins. Here's what you need to remember: no matter how hard you try, you cannot control what other people do. You can't control every situation. But you can control how you react, how you move, how you prepare. You control whether or not you stay positive in the face of challenges. You control whether or not you keep pushing forward when the world around you is chaotic. That's the key. You've got to get to a place where you understand that you only have power over one thing: the way you show up. And that's all you need. Stop giving away your peace to things you can't change. You're stronger than that. Focus on what you can control and let go of everything else. You'll be amazed at how much clearer your path becomes when you stop carrying the weight of things that aren't yours to carry. Let go of the worry. Focus on yourself, your journey, and what you can do today to move closer to the life you're meant to live. The rest, let it go. You'll be just fine. Let me tell you something: you're not going to grow if you're comfortable all the time. You're not going to get stronger if you keep staying in that little bubble where everything feels safe and easy. The truth is, real progress happens when you step outside of your comfort zone and face discomfort head on. It's easy to stay in the zone where things are familiar, where you feel secure, but that security is a trap. It keeps you from pushing your limits, from discovering just how far you can really go. Discomfort is where growth lies. Every single person who has ever achieved anything meaningful had to face discomfort. Whether it was physically, mentally, or emotionally, they had to go through moments where they felt like they couldn't take another step. But they did. They pushed through because they understood that without discomfort, there is no transformation. You cannot become the person you're meant to be by staying in a place of ease. The truth is, the discomfort you're feeling right now, it's a sign of progress. It's a sign that you're stretching yourself, that you're reaching for something bigger than where you are today. If you can't handle discomfort, then you can't handle the success that's waiting for you. Because success requires resilience. It requires the ability to withstand setbacks, challenges, and difficult times without quitting. Every time you feel uncomfortable, that's the moment to dig deeper. That's the moment to remind yourself that this pain, this struggle, it's temporary. It's part of the process. And if you can embrace it, instead of running from it, you'll emerge stronger. You'll emerge wiser. You'll be equipped to handle whatever comes your way because you've learned to endure. Think about the toughest moments in your life. The times when you thought you couldn't keep going. Those are the moments that shaped you. They're the moments that built your strength, your character, and your resolve. You didn't grow when things were easy. You grew when you had to face something that challenged you, that pushed you to your limit. And you didn't quit, you kept going. That's how you grow. So stop fearing discomfort. Stop running from the hard things. If you want to change, if you want to level up, you need to embrace the tough moments. The moments when you feel like you can't go any further. Those are the moments that reveal your true potential. The discomfort you feel today is shaping the person you will become tomorrow. Don't shy away from the struggle. The struggle is your training ground. It's where your strength is forged. Every step forward that feels hard, every challenge that feels impossible, that's where the magic happens. And when you come out on the other side, you'll look back and realize that it wasn't the easy times that made you who you are. It was the uncomfortable times, the moments that tested you, that pushed you beyond your limits. That's where the real transformation happens. Embrace discomfort. Embrace the hard times. Embrace the struggle. Because that's where the real growth is. That's how you become the person who is ready for the success, the opportunities, and the life you've been dreaming of. Don't run from it. Lean into it and let it shape you, because when you're willing to be uncomfortable, that's when you know you're truly moving forward. Listen, your life is the result of the choices you make. Every single day, you're making decisions, big or small, that are shaping your future. Whether you're aware of it or not, those choices are stacking up and leading you somewhere. You have to own them. Every win, every failure, every moment of success, and every setback, it all boils down to the decisions you made. And if you want to create a life that reflects who you truly are, you've got to take full responsibility for the choices you make. We live in a world where it's so easy to point fingers, to blame someone else, or to make excuses. It's easy to say, well, this happened to me, or I was dealt a bad hand, but here's the truth: you can't change the cards you're dealt. But you can control how you play them. You are the one who decides what you're going to do with the opportunities and obstacles that come your way. And if you want to get to the next level, you've got to start owning your decisions and accepting the consequences, good or bad. No one is going to walk this journey for you. No one is going to make these decisions for you. The power you have right now is in your ability to choose your actions, your mindset, your responses. If you keep putting the blame on other people or on external circumstances, you'll stay stuck. You'll stay a spectator in your own life. But when you step up and take ownership of your choices, you stop being a victim and start becoming the hero of your own story. And here's the kicker: you might make mistakes, you might make the wrong choice. That's part of the process. But you have to own it. Don't run from your mistakes or hide from them. They are part of who you are. They don't define you, but they help shape you. They give you the lessons you need to grow. If you try to avoid taking responsibility for your decisions, you'll never learn the lessons that are waiting for you. And trust me, those lessons are worth more than any temporary comfort you get from denying responsibility. Understand this: success, real success, doesn't happen by accident. It's the result of a series of choices. And if you want to create the life you're dreaming of, you have to make intentional decisions. You've got to decide where you're going, how you're going to get there, and who you're going to become along the way. Every action you take, every move you make is a decision that brings you closer to or further from your goal. Own your decisions, because when you take responsibility for your life, you take back your power. You stop waiting for the world to change, for things to just happen, or for someone else to give you permission to go after your dreams. You get in the driver's seat, you take control, and you steer your life in the direction you want it to go. And when you own your decisions, you become unstoppable. You become a force because you stop blaming your past, your circumstances, or the people around you. You start making choices based on who you are, not who you were. You begin creating a life that's aligned with your true purpose, with your passions, and with the person you know you're meant to be. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to make the tough calls for you. The power to shape your future is in your hands right now. Own your decisions. Make them count. Because when you take responsibility for your life, you become the architect of your destiny. You build the life you want, step by step, decision by decision. The ball is in your court. Make the most of it. Fear is real. It's natural. We all feel it at some point or another. But here's the thing: fear is not the enemy. Fear is simply a signal. It's the body and mind's way of telling you, hey, this matters. This is important. This could change things. The real enemy is letting that fear control you, letting it make decisions for you, and stopping you from taking the actions that are going to push you forward in life. Too often, fear paralyzes us. We let it convince us that we're not ready, that we're not good enough, that we don't have what it takes. Fear whispers lies in your ear, telling you to play it safe, stay where it's comfortable, avoid taking risks. But you know what? Comfort will never lead to greatness. Playing it safe will never lead to anything extraordinary. If you want to make something of your life, if you want to see real change, you have to face your fear and keep moving forward. Every successful person you admire, every person who has achieved greatness, has had to face fear. They've been afraid, they've had doubts, they've questioned themselves. But here's the key: they didn't let that fear stop them. They used it. They understood that fear was part of the process, part of the journey. They didn't allow it to hold them back. They allowed it to fuel them, to drive them, to remind them that what they were doing mattered. Fear is not a wall, it's a hurdle. And you've got to get over it. The biggest mistake you can make is letting fear make decisions for you. Fear doesn't want you to take risks. Fear doesn't want you to put yourself out there, to step into the unknown. But that's where the magic happens. That's where your growth happens. That's where you discover what you're truly made of. Let me tell you something: the more you run from fear, the more it controls you. The more you avoid the uncomfortable, the more you stay stuck in a cycle of mediocrity. But the more you face it, the more you lean into it, the more you realize that fear is not your enemy. It's just a sign that you're stepping into new territory. It's a sign that you're doing something that matters. It's a sign that you're on the path to becoming the best version of yourself. Every time fear shows up, don't run from it. Don't hide from it. Step into it. Ask yourself, what is this fear trying to teach me? What is this moment trying to tell me about who I am and where I need to go? And then make the decision to move forward anyway. The fear might not disappear, but it won't have the power to stop you if you don't let it. The most successful people aren't fearless, they're just not afraid to act in spite of their fear. They don't let fear dictate their choices. They don't let it stop them from taking risks, from stepping out on faith, from moving toward the things they want most in life. They see fear as a signal that they're about to make progress, and they don't let anything hold them back. So the next time fear comes knocking, don't let it stop you. Use it as fuel. Keep moving forward. Take that step, even when it feels uncomfortable, even when you don't have all the answers, even when you're unsure of the outcome. Because the only way to achieve greatness, the only way to make something of your life, is to keep moving forward, even when you're afraid. Fear doesn't have to hold you back. You are bigger than any fear you'll ever face. And when you learn to push through it, when you learn to take action in the face of fear, that's when you'll realize just how unstoppable you really are.